dreams collide. Blue flags waving, hearts so strong. Chelsea, we've loved you all along. Through the battles, through the rain, glory rises, joy and pain. From the legends to the new, the spirit of Chelsea shines so true. Oh, Chelsea forever blue, we stand together proud of you.
Defending, all you have to do, hold on the L2, LT button, and you are going to see you play a start jockey defending. And this is the normal jockey defending. When you hold on the L2, LT, you are going to see you play a start facing the ball wherever the ball is. And not only that, also your defender will be ready for anything. What I mean about that is, if the attacker tried to go past the defender using the jockey defending, you are going to see your player going for a stand tackle without you pressing anything, just the jockey defending. And also, if the attacker tried to go for a shot using the jockey defending, you can block the shot. With the normal jockey, you are going to lose a lot of pace, so what you can do is start using the running jockey. And to perform the running jockey, all you have to do, hold on the R2 and the L2 at the same time, or the RT and the LT, basically the running button and the jockey button at the same time. With that, you are going to see you play a start using the running jockey, going for a counter attack. The ball now is with Isaac 1v1 against my defender, and when I saw that my opponent has got some space, he can run into the empty space or he can go for a skill move, the first thing that I have started using is of course the jockey defending. Because in this situation, if I go for a stand tackle and I don't win the ball, he is going to be through on goal. Not only that, also my defender will need time to recover. And as you can see, I'm moving backward with my player, I'm not moving into the attacker. Like I said, when you hold on the L2, when you start jockey defending, your player is gonna be ready for anything. So if he tries to go for a 1v1 or he tried to move into the empty space, my player is gonna go for a stand tackle by himself, and that's exactly what happened here. My center back went for a stand tackle, as you can see, by himself.
And sometimes, of course, you must defend still 1v1, and then your best mate, your best friend is the L2 button jockey. And combine this also with the R2 button, getting then speed jockey, pressing down LT R2 at the same time. But when defending 1v1, then almost always engage the jockey. It makes your defensive transitions much faster and much more smooth. Again now, 1v1, you see here, jockey, moving nicely, don't panic. Chill and do not spam the stand tackle button, only press it when you need extra read.
And this is the best one you're going to get today, okay? Do not use your defenders to defend. Make sure to always select your midfielders by using the right switch technique that I showed you a few minutes ago, guys. Drag your midfielders back, talking about the CMs in the 4-4-2, for example, the CDMs in the 4-2-1-3, the left midfielder, the right midfielder. Select them, drag them back, put them in front of your defenders, and this is how you are going to make your defender line stronger and better than ever before. This is my way of defending in FC 2026. I do my best to never select my center backs. In case I cannot defend using my midfielders, then I select my center backs and do my best to take the ball.
Let's move on into example number 2. As you can see, my opponent is building up an attack, so the first thing that I am doing is cutting the passing lines. This is really important, and by using my midfielders. A really important tip on defending in this game: start defending using your midfielders when your opponent is building up an attack. Don't rush out with your center backs. On this example, using my center mid, I'm trying to cut the passing lines, and as you can see, using the jockey defending, my player is now facing the ball, and if my opponent tried to dribble, I can easily get the ball. When my opponent passed the ball for the second time, I saw there is another passing line that I need to cut. When my opponent tried to go for the second pass, I was already there, and using the backs, that will give your opponent a lot of space. And because FC26 gameplay is so fast, in a second you are going to see your opponent getting into the empty space and getting in behind using the space that you gave him with your center back. Let me give you a quick example of what I'm talking about. out. My opponent is going for a counter attack, a quick counter attack, and as you can see I have got my full line of defense ready to defend. A big mistake would be rushing out with my center back and trying to cut the ball. That would be a big mistake, especially if you try to go for a tentacle and you don't win the ball. That would give your opponent a lot of space. What I am doing now is I am controlling my CDM and I am bringing back my CDM into the defense. What happened next is my opponent passed the ball to the winger, so I quickly start using the second man press using my full back by holding the R1 button so I can give my opponent less options on the attack. And with the player that I'm controlling, I'm trying to cut the passing lines, and that's exactly what happened. Using the player that I was controlling, I was able to cut the passing line and
Your best friend this here is the R1 button, RBX box, the second man press button. Use this as much as you can. You need help at the back, and this is extremely useful in many situations. Like here, the AI takes the first press, R1 button, second man press button. You see then this green indicator showing up, and then we manually cover inside in this dangerous pass. Good defending. Again here, a tricky situation, both which is hold here R1 and helping out with the center mids and saving this situation thanks to the R1 button. And mainly, when defending flanks, when defending wings and cutbacks, use always pretty much the R1 press, second man press button to push and press the ball holder while you manually cover these passes and runs inside with your manually controlled defender. But don't control the same player for too long time. Try to switch as much as possible, and that is both using right-stick switching and as well of course the L1 switching to switch to the closest player. And defending in your box and close to your box, always try to double up. Defending isolated 1v1, it is this year very difficult. You always want a friend, a support, and you get this using the R1 second man press button. Double up as much as you can without pulling your center backs out of position. That is a fine balance.
What will happen if you use the second man press with your center backs? You are going to see your center back out of position and you are going to give your opponent a lot of space. Use the second man press to try to press on your opponent with your midfielders or sometimes against wingers. Don't use it with your center backs unless your opponent is already inside the box. That time, if he is inside the box, the second man press can block the shot for you. But when your opponent is building up an attack or he just started the counter attack, there's no need to use it with your center backs. No, use the second man press with your midfielders, and with the player that you are controlling, you should be cutting the passing lines and giving your opponent less and less options. And for the jockey defending, use the running jockey. The running jockey will allow your player to move faster but not as fast as normal running. What I'm trying to say, don't be using the jockey defending all the time. No, you don't have to be using it all the time. So use it when you see your opponent has got an option to go for a pass or shoot. That time, use it 100%, but if you want to move between the passing lines, don't be using the running jockey. With that being said, this is all for the jockey defending. Now I might drop a full defending tutorial in the upcoming weeks. However, this is all what you need to know about jockey defending. I hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to subscribe and like. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments below, and I will see you all in the next video. Peace.
If you defend great this year, your opponent will create plenty of chances, and that means this year the goalkeeper is a huge key. You must be active, movement, press down right stick and move to cover the angles. Rush out using triangle, and also of course on corner kicks, move the keeper. Press down right stick and move into position. A great fast trick to stop far post shots, which is the most common shot type, is shooting across the goal, is double tapping triangle in the last second. But don't press too early, don't expose yourself. Double tap triangle in the last moment when you think that your opponent has decided his direction. You can also bait as well. You can also bait. A quite nice trick is pressing double tap early and then move back, pressing just once. So double tap to move forward post and then tap triangle once to move back into position. And then here you must stop the counters to every price, and sometimes the best way is to just go for a professional foul, which is R1 plus X. that is Xbox RB plus A. Just stop it, but this though gives you a guaranteed yellow card, so don't do this with someone that is booked already.
Shining bright, legends made the dream lives on, the Arsenal spirit.
We have a feature that is very underrated, and that is a partial team press, which activates 2 extra players, which is controlled by the AI, and they get active for a short time. And to activate this feature, then tap twice R1 and hold. And you're gonna see here these 2 blue indicators. And this feature has plenty of usage areas. The first one is to help out in high pressure situations. Just here double tap R1 and hold, and that is a nice example, or to stop cutbacks. The opponent here gets easy tap in, you have no time to get there yourself, then double tap R1. Double tap and hold, and sometimes that will save you. But this year also, it is great to use here to stop these counters. To track runs without activating center backs is actually quite amazing. And last out,
Advanced teammate contain technique called partial team press. When you guys press R1 RB once and then press and hold R1 RB one more time, you are going to get supported by not one but 2 of your teammates that are going to apply pressure on the opponent, so the chance you take the ball from the opponent will be even higher. But keep in mind that you are going to leave even bigger gaps in your defender line, so make sure that you actually
we have the last restore tackle, which is the hard tackle using R1 plus square, which is RB plus B on Xbox, and this gives you a bit extra reach on that slide tackle, and that could be used sometimes, especially for stopping a certain goal. Quite nice and extremely satisfying when you manage. You feel like Prime Maldini.
So let me teach you how exactly you can defend in FC 26. Let's kick things off with the standing tackles, and standing tackles are very important to use. And keep in mind that you should not spam the standing tackle button, guys. Talking about circle on PlayStation and B on Xbox. You have to time it properly and press it only once in the right moment if you guys want to take the ball from the opponent. Don't spam the standing tackle button. Press it once to take the ball. The standing tackles have one more variation, and it is called hard tackles. Hold R1 plus circle for PlayStation and RB plus B for Xbox controllers, and the player on the ball is going to perform a standing tackle, which is more aggressive than the default standing tackles. Keep in mind that timing is crucial. You can press it only once, and by using the aggressive hard tackles, you can be sure that you will always take the ball and your opponent will never win a rebound. With that being said, it is time to talk about the sliding tackles in FC 26. One of the best ways to take the ball from the opponent's players. All you have to do is press square for PlayStation and X for Xbox controllers, and the sliding tackle animations this year are better than ever before. Your success rate is going to be over 95%, and it is a fantastic way to stop running players. Also in FC 26, esports have reduced the number of rebounds and deflections, which makes the sliding tackles even more dangerous and successful. Also, when you hold down R1 plus square for PlayStation and RB plus X for Xbox controllers, you are going to perform hard sliding tackles, which are more aggressive than the default sliding tackles, and basically you can destroy the opponent's players by using this technique. However, I mainly use normal sliding tackles. I Tactical defending, AI is going to decide instead of you when you get in a one-on-one situation with the opponent's player, depending on the player's position. If the player is going to perform a standing tackle, for example, or he's going to push away the opponent's player from the ball. All you need to do is just press once, twice, 3 times the circle button, guys, and the rest will be done by the game. And when it comes to advanced defending in one-on-one situations with the opponent's players, guys, when you press circle, your player is going to perform a standing tackle, nothing else. And when you guys press X on your controller, your player is going to attempt a shoulder challenge or a seal out. So let's recap. At tactical defending, you have to press one button and AI is going to choose for you a defending technique. If you guys go with advanced defending, you have to press 2 different buttons for 2 separate defending techniques, and you decide which one to use. That's why I advise you to go with tactical defending, just like over 80-85% of the entire FIFA community on FC 26 for easier and better defending. It's time to talk about switching and the best ways to switch between your players in FC 26. And before we get into that, make sure that you guys use next player switching classic. And from the visuals menu, find the next player switch indicator option and make sure that this one is on. And now let's get back to our in-game examples. When you guys press the L1 button for PlayStation and LB for Xbox controllers, you are going to switch to another teammate of yours on the field. The next player switch indicator option that we just activated let you guys see the player with the arrow over his head that you're going to select by pressing L1 LB on your controllers. So in any moment of your matches, you can see the player that you are going to take control of by pressing the button. You cannot defend using one player all the time. That's why switching between your players is crucial to close the gaps, pressure the opponents, and get them to make mistakes. And now if you guys want to take your defending to the next level, make sure to also start using the right stick on your controllers. Now let's get back to the in-game gameplay settings. Right stick switching should be at classic, while the L1 LB switching method is going to select the closest to the ball player for you guys. By using the right stick, you can select any player on the field, anyone from your squad, boys, except the goalkeeper. All you have to do is flick the right stick towards the player that you want to control. Let me show you that particular example. As you guys can see, if I press L1 LB, I'm going to select my CM. However, if I press the right stick, I'm going to select my RB and I will successfully block the running guy, so I won't concede a goal. As I said, this is advanced defending. Make sure to master the right stick switching. It's super important in particular situations like this one to close the gaps and improve your defending.